Here's Jimmy's interview with Coach Andy Hape from Reitz earlier today.
Coach, you're coming off just a big loss last week against a very good Mater Dei team, but what a great football game that was between two really good teams. You know, even with that loss to close out the season, I would think you have to be pretty happy with the way the teams played all season long.
You know, we are. It was a big loss for us. We really felt like that we had done the things that we needed to do to be successful in that game. And credit to Mater Dei. You know, they are a great football team, very well coached, and they play hard. We just happen to be on the short end of the stick in that ball game. But we do feel like, you know, we came and we battled. And, you know, anytime we go into a ball game, no matter where it is, we just want to be able to compete, and we want to play good football. And I think that we did that for the most part. Going into it, we are happy with our season. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of being 8-1. So, you know, we just want to make sure that we understand that as a football team. And the great thing about it is we play this week, and that's what's important. And sectional start, and we got to be ready to go.
Well, now this is the second season, if you want to put it that way. Everybody starts with a clean slate. Now, you drew the short straw, if there is one, as far as travel goes in your first-round sectional game against Seymour. It's the furthest team away in this sectional. When you have to spend a couple of hours on the bus, do you like to get there a little earlier than normal to give the kids more time to warm up, or do you like to keep things kind of as close to the way they are for any game?
You know, we're going to try to keep it the same as always. You know, football teams and football coaches are natures of habit. You know, they like the same thing every week in the same way. And obviously we do have to get on the bus and we have to travel, but we're going to leave and get there and make sure that our guys have enough time to get off and get stretched and loose and walk the field a little bit. And then, our pregame will start as normal, you know, an hour before, and we'll get out there and get ready to play the ball game. So, you know, that for us is, you know, short end of the stick. It might be as far as travel goes, but we have confidence in our guys that when we get off that bus, we'll be ready to play.
We're talking with Reitz Panther head football coach Andy Hape, preparing to take on Seymour here in the first round of the Class 4A sectional. Coach, obviously Seymour far enough over to the eastern part of the state that we don't really know a whole lot about them. I'm sure you've had a chance to watch a little bit of film. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've seen in the Seymour team?
You know, Seymour's a good football team. I don't think their record maybe necessarily shows that. After watching them on film, I think that they're scheme-wise, offensively and defensively, they play hard. Their kids line up, and they play hard, and that's a lot of what you have to, you got to have that at this point in time of the year. You just want your guys to show up and compete. So I think scheme-wise, they do some things that we haven't seen defensively. We haven't seen in a while. So, that's been a little bit of a challenge for us this week, going into practice, making sure that we understand the scheme that they run and how we're going to block it against certain ways. And then offensively, they do a good job scheme-wise. Scheme is awesome. And it's been a challenge for our defense too. It's not a big change from what we've seen, but they run it well, and we're going to have to be ready to play when we show up.
Well, the big thing in last week's game, and I don't think it was any surprise. Obviously, anytime Reitz and Mater Dei play, the records can go out the window. It's just it's a built-in rivalry. But with both of you undefeated, obviously the bowl was packed up. And let's talk just a second about this Reitz Nation. Your fans are rock solid, and they travel well. I know it's going to be tough for a lot of them to make that trip on a Friday, but that means a lot to the football team as well, does it not, having a lot of fans in the stands?
For sure. That we feed off, our student section, and then, our community fans and parents, they do a great job, and they're a big part of why we're 8-1. We travel well anywhere we go. We've got fans, and we've got people that are backing us, and that is a big part of who we are. And, our kids thrive on that. And I think they know that, but if they don't know it, they should, that the Reitz Nation, so is what they're called, and then our Reitz Rowdies, our student section, we really feel like that our team can feed off them, and no matter whether we're at home or whether we're on the road. So definitely a big part of who we are.
Well, last week's game was a very physical game and hard fought by both teams. Coming out of it, getting ready for the sectionals, are you pretty healthy going into the tournament?
We're healthy, just like any other game. People. We played 9 games, but we've really been going for about 12 weeks now. So when you put in preseason and all of that stuff, so this is the 13th week for us getting prepared, and you are banged up a little bit. You've got some bumps and bruises. You've got some guys with some shoulders and some elbows, but for the most part, I have to say we're relatively healthy. We do have a little bit of a sinus bug going around, but it seems like everybody else has that too around the city. It's that time of the year. So we're just really trying to be diligent and making sure that we're doing what we need to do to keep our guys healthy and able to play on Friday night.